Hi everybody. What I'm going to do here today is I'm going to pour. I've got it poured to about here. This is my resin bar counter that I'm doing with all the beer can labels. And when I say beer can labels, I mean they were cans, and I was cutting out the metal, and then I was using like a multi-purpose spray adhesive and gluing them down. Some of them aren't sticking real good, but the epoxy will kind of take care of that too. I'm pretty sure. What is making a noise in here? Okay. So anyway, what I'm gonna do is open these resin. There's the curing agent, and then this is the base resin right here. And I've got this that has some measurements on it, so it'll make it easier for me today. And I'm going to pour about 8 ounces of this into that. I'm just doing a small pour, so what I'm going to do is I'm just finishing that part of the pour of it, and then I'm going to then I'm going to take it, and from there I'm going to let it cure for a day, sand this whole surface down, and then I'm going to pour the final coat over the whole thing. And what that'll do is make it so it sets up. So I should have about 16 ounces of resin right there, the mix. And then once it's all sanded and stuff, and I'll get that final coat on here, it'll make it glass-like and so smooth and beautiful and ready to go. So I have to sit here and I have to mix this stuff for about 3 or 4 minutes, and I'll be right back. All right, so I think I got it all mixed up pretty good, and I'm just gonna pour it onto here, and then I'm going to take it, and when I get this all done, I've got a spackling knife. I found out that works pretty good for this. I know in other shows and stuff they show you cutting with using a paintbrush or something, which you can go down and buy at Home Depot, just one of the small little paintbrushes, and it does work. The little paintbrush does work pretty good. But I find this also works pretty good. You just take it and chop it in, and then you know what? And then you can actually reuse this paintbrush. That's what's pretty cool. I'm not paintbrush, but this spackling tool. And the reason you can do that is because you can just peel off the resin when it sets up. So I've been using this since I started this project, and it works great because resin is kind of like self-leveling anyway. You know, it levels itself up. I might have to bring that's another thing I'll probably have to do. I'll bring my level in here and check this, because I noticed that this table is a little bit uneven. That's not, ooh, I think I need some more. No, that's covered, okay. This wasn't covered. I can't tell, it's so glassy, glass-like. And anyway, so it's trying to run that way because this floor's not so even in here. And so I'm gonna have to put a couple of supports under that section there to keep it on this side of the table. And I hope I don't get any leaks. That's possible. It's always possible. Everything's possible when you're doing this. Resin is really fun, but it's messy. Put it that way. Messy. All right. Okay, so I'll be right back in a second. I'm gonna make sure this table's level. Should have done that in the first place. All right, so I got it. That worked out pretty good. I don't see any leaks. That's great. And now I'm going to take it and I'm going to blowtorch it here. Well, you can use a blowtorch too if you have a torch, like a propane torch. That works pretty good, but this works for projects like this. This works really good. So I'm gonna turn this up, get all the heat on there. It'll take the bubbles right out. I don't know if you can see it, but it's just taking right on out of there. All those bubbles. You don't want bubbles, you can't see it. I got some other projects coming up here for the beer can labels. I'm going to do my bistro table with some too, because it looks so cool. Yeah, it really does. Okay. Now it has to cool down, so it's just going to sit there and run for a bit. Anyway, that's it for now. I think the next time you'll see this is I'll be sanding it. And then, so that was the only amount of resin that I needed left here. The rest I had done in stages as I was putting the cans down. And then after that, it'll be the final pour on the whole top of it to make it look like a glass. All right, hey, I've got this pretty much sanded down. Getting ready to do the final pour on here. And first of all, I gotta get something to clean this off. Then I'm going to do about 40 ounces of pour. I'm gonna do it in the garage because I have to actually whip it up with a mixer so it gets all blended very good for this final top on here. And it should be really pretty, and I'm going to be back in just a second with that pour. So, all right, so here we go with the final pour on here, and I got a paintbrush so I can spread it out better across the thing. We sanded it, and then I wiped it down with a damp cloth to clean off all the dust and everything. And when it's all said and done, I will take and clean up all the edges all the way around because I've got some cleanup to do on that. I'm going to start from over here. I'm just going to pour it all the way across the middle. Even, or this should finish this whole project off here. And let me get this out of the way. Hopefully it'll turn out great. Now, what I'm gonna do with this paintbrush is to use it as a. I have to move this up. Okay. What I'm gonna do with this paintbrush is use it as like a. I'm gonna push it and then kind of chop it together a little bit too. Get it in all the corners, because this one here is what we need to look really good compared to the other ones, the other pours, which, you know, it doesn't matter what they look like exactly, it's just as long as they cover real good, and then you're going to sand it. And then this one though, you want in all the corners, you want to go all the way across. Get everything so it's all even. Then I'm going to take the blowtorch the whole thing. Then what I'm going to do, not the blowtorch, I'm actually going to take the, and I'm going to take the heating gun and do the heating gun on everything, just making sure nothing's leaking. Then what I'm going to do after that is clean the edges, and before then I'll show you, right before I get off here, I'll show you the finish after we use the heating gun on here to make everything all nice and even finished. All right, there, look at that. I can't touch it right now, it's just wet, but that's the look I was trying to go for, was that glassy look. So you can get a reflection, and there's my leg lamp. But anyway, yeah, so you get that nice glass look to it. Didn't that turn out wonderful? Of course, I have to clean up all these edges now. I guess I should have taped it off, but I didn't. But it came out pretty cool. Anyway, I will show you the finished product when it's all said and done. It's almost there. Well, here's the finished product.
Ta-da! Oh, I wish I had the camera so I could show you.
A day later.
$1 short.
After all that. Enjoying a beer at the new counter. So cheers, everybody. Thanks for joining us on this little episode of resin pouring, and we got
beer pouring.
And we got another one coming up. I'm gonna do one for the bistro table, and I'll do the whole thing from the start to finish on that one.
Can you believe? Look at this. Look how easy this flows.
Thanks,
this
guys.
This was sticky yesterday.
Bye.